What's going on? It's Eli back with another video, and before we get into the video, I know I'm in another setup. This is like the third straight week that I'm in a different setup, but just bear with me. I've been moving back and forth from home back to my apartment for school. So this weekend I just happened to be home while making this video, so we in my room. But the topic of this video is making meaningful photography. And what I mean by making meaningful photography, just photography that means something to you, that tells a story, that tells a message, something that you feel very passionate about in society, or it could just be whatever you're photographing. If it's meaningful to you, then you know it's meaningful photography. So I was making this video because I realized all of the videos that I've been making on this channel have just been like, you know, the little photo vlogs or the portraits I do, and behind the scenes on those photo shoots, but I haven't never really showed like my fine art work on this channel or like my processes. And I mean, I've kind of tried to. I record some behind the scenes for those, but it just never really turns out the way I want it to. So I figured I might as well just take all those pictures that you guys haven't seen. If you only know me on YouTube, I have them up on my Instagram, but if a lot of people are only on YouTube, so I figured I'd rather just show you guys on here and show you some of the behind the scenes, and went into that and explain it, because I can't even really explain it on Instagram. You know, you only get the caption. It's easier to explain it on here and explain the pictures from what my version of meaningful photography is. Now around the last 6 or 7 months, I would say, since last summer really, I've been working on a body of work centered around people of color and then perspectives of freedom. That's really what's meaningful to me. So I've been making bodies of work around that, you know, highlighting people of color, showing black beauty, telling black stories really. So I'm going to talk about that in this video. I have 4 pictures that are part of that series that I'm going to show you guys in this video, as well as some of the behind the scenes from it, and I'll explain it as I go along. The first piece I'm going to start off with is Wing Ridden Angel. It was a project centered on how I pretty much see myself and other black men. That's going to be like an ongoing theme with these photos that I'm going to show you. All of them are based off my life, you know, and things I've seen around me. So it's kind of like a visual diary, kind of, in a sense, just a little bit for me. All of my photos are very personal. That's usually why I take a long time to even put them out, and I'm always hesitant to show them because I feel like they're so personal to me. And you know, when you're looking at these photos, you're essentially looking at like pieces of me. So but with this project, it was basically like I said, you know, how I see myself and other black men essentially as angels without wings. Because as you know, being black in America, you know, you don't, or just being a person of color in general, you don't start off at the same place as, you know, white males. It's like if we're running a race, they're already started off halfway to the finish line, you know what I'm saying? So that's really what I was trying to show in this picture. So pretty much, you know, our white counterparts, they start off with wings. And then as black people, especially black men and women, we have to make our own wings or learn to grow them over time. And that's pretty much what I was trying to show in this photo. I used a ring light, literally just a ring light. That was the only source of light. And then a blackout studio that I went to. I actually don't know if those clips are going to be on the screen right now, because I don't even know if I still have them. They're so long ago. But if they are, I'll try to show, you know, a clip or two from that up here if I can. But yeah, this was my first like real fine art piece. It holds a special place in my heart because I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to pull it off. That's a common theme with like any of my shoots. I really never know if I'm gonna be able to pull them off. Like I always push myself, do things that I know that I've never done before in the shoot just to see if I can do it. But I usually always end up doing it. So that's kind of the case with the ring light. And this photo shoot is also another way I preach to people. Like, you don't really need a lot to make a good photo, or a photo that's worthy of being in a gallery or something. I shot this on my Mamiya 645. That's why I've shot all of these photos on all my fine art series on medium format film, Mamiya 645. And literally just a ring light. Like, not even, it was a broken ring light too. Like, I had to tape it together just to use it as like the halo. So I always preach that you don't need a lot to make good photos. Alright, the next piece I'm going to show you guys is Burning Flag. That's the name of the piece. This one was a little bit of like a statement piece. It's a little bit more controversial, but it's something I had in my head for like a long time, probably since like last October. It had been something I really wanted to do for a long time. And then I didn't even really have a crew to pull this off, but I knew I wanted to do it. I knew I could probably do it right. So all I had was me, my friend Austin, and then that was it, and then the model. And then we didn't know how we were going to do it. We had one shot. We had one flag. So if we burned it around the first time, it was going to be over with. That's another thing I really like about these fine art shoots that I'm doing. A lot of it is like do or die. So like, because right now I don't have the current budget to, you know, be buying multiple things for shoots for multiple tries. So it's either I get it right or I'll just have to retry it at another date. So I didn't even use a light meter. I had my digital camera. I like tried to get an accurate meter, but you really can't do that because the way the light was, the sun was going down, and then we had the fire. Obviously when the fire pops up, that's going to change the exposure. So really I kind of just like bracketed it as I went and kind of like guessed the exposure off what I know about light, but it turned out better than I ever expected. Literally we got the final photo, like that was the only usable one. Like literally that one with the fire in it, we caught it. The other ones were a tad bit out of focus because we were moving so fast. That's really the only usable one, and it was the best one. So it turned out in my favor, and I'm glad it happened the way it did. But obviously, as you can see, it was meant to show a slave burning the Confederate flag. Everything, you know, racism, all of that, everything that the flag portrays to me. And it kind of reflects on me too, because it's kind of like burning everything that's in my way is a statement of power. So that's one of my, I feel like I'm going to say this about all of them, because I love all of my work that I think is meaningful to me. But yeah, this is one of my favorite photos too. Just the way the fire is burning, the way the model is standing there, just powerful as the flag is burning away. And then there's actually tape a little bit above the flag. It looks like a gun, so that kind of turned out in our favor because we were trying to tape the flag to the wall so it could stay up, but it didn't end up working that way. But it actually did turn out looking like a gun. A lot of people, when they see the photo, they think it's a gun, so it just works on top of it. But this photo, as well as Wing Written Angel, are part of my series surrounding black freedom and perspectives of freedom in the black community throughout time. That's really what I've been trying to portray with that series that is still currently ongoing. And I feel like that photo shows that perfectly. You know, it shows the perspective of freedom, breaking free from it. You know, he still has the chain around his neck, but it's not attached to anything. So it's symbolizing, you know, how he's been breaking free from slavery and, you know, all forms of oppression. Now this next photo I'm going to show you is the only one that's not a part of that series. It's part of a different series. It's a series full of silhouettes that I'm working on, and it's inspired by, you know, the work of Carl Walker and Tyler Shields. If you don't know who both of them are, you know, those are both great fine artists, so go ahead and look them up if you don't already know who they are. Especially, you know, their silhouette work, you know, some of the best I've ever seen in my life. It's some amazing work. But this piece is called Afro Silhouette, and alright, this is the third time in a row I'm gonna say it. This is one of my favorite photos. Like, actually, this might actually be my favorite. I printed this one and I put it in my apartment. It's right above my TV. I see it every day, and I'm still amazed at it every time I see it. The silhouette lighting setup is one of my favorite, as you can see, because I did it in one of my videos a few weeks ago. I keep using it. I'm still building up the series. I'm getting some amazing photos for the series, but this one was really meant to show, you know, the beauty of African American hair. Curly and nappy hair is still being looked down upon in most of the world. I figured I might as well try to change that with my photos and, you know, show it in different light, something that makes it beautiful and amplifies the beauty of black hair. So in the photo, as you can see, it's a black man with an afro, and then, you know, the black power pick in his hair, which I thought really makes the photo. The photo is really simple, but I feel like simple photos are sometimes the best ones, especially with like silhouette lighting. I feel like making it simple usually makes it turn out best. So I'm glad I used that pick. You know, it adds the black power symbol in there, which is obviously, you know, a very big symbol in the black community, and especially in the Black Lives Matter movement. So I thought I'd add that in there. This photo shows, you know, more male hair, you know, with the pick and stuff like that. But in the future, I hope to get some beautiful black women in there and, you know, show their hair as part of the series, and, you know, add my creative elements in it. So I really think that series had a lot of potential. I'm still working on it. I usually don't put my ideas out there you know, 'cause I know people like to copy and things like that, but I don't know, I figure I might as well, you know, add that new series in there, because I'm working on it at the same time as the other one I'm showing to you, and I'm really proud of the silhouettes that I've been able to capture so far. The next piece I'm going to show you is called The Boys in Black. I actually don't have any behind the scenes footage from this one because it was just me and the kids and their mom, and it was my first time meeting them, so I didn't want to have anything else distracting me or taking away from the connection, because especially when working with kids, I feel like the connection you have with your subject, getting to know them, it shows in the photo. I had to talk to the kids, you know, get to know them a little more, get to know their story a little bit. We have very similar upbringings and backgrounds. We're both from the same town, so that helped. But I feel like the connection with the subject is everything. So as I got to know them more, it made it easier for me to add them into my vision and also add their vision into it, if you get what I'm saying. I feel like that's when the best art is created, when it's not just your vision, but it's somebody else's and it all being intertwined. You know, it makes it more real, if you get what I'm saying. So this was a photo that I kind of had planned out, but it was also kind of like a documentary photo a little bit, because I was documenting them and, you know, documenting their story, and I feel like I did a good job of doing that in this photo. The original idea for the photo shoot was supposed to be just one kid in oversized suits, meant to show how I feel like, you know, people of color, especially the men, are made to grow up way faster than their white counterparts. That's something I feel like I experienced, and I feel like other black men especially have experienced it. So I really wanted to show that in these photos and get that story and that storyline out there. Now, as I said earlier, it was only supposed to be one kid, but when I reached out to her mom, she said she had 3, and then I seen all 3 of them, and I was like, I have to shoot it. I have to shoot all 3 of them at once. Like, I immediately had started seeing the photos in my head, and that's how it happens sometimes. You know, everything that you're going to want to do, sometimes it's going to get changed a little bit, and that's okay. I feel like I can roll with it, you know. If I never would have been open to change, I wouldn't have gotten the photo I got, which I feel like was way better than the photo I originally had envisioned. So I got all 3 of them in there, got them in matching suits, got them in like the old school background. These photos were really timeless in my opinion. That's why I really like them. I feel like you really can't tell the time period they were taken in, especially since it was black and white film. And it also shows like a little bit of their character. Even though it's all 3 of them at once, it shows their strength, because they're both protecting a little brother, like their bodyguards. And then it shows each of their character, because all the way on the left, Steven, that was his name. He's wearing boots. I don't know if you noticed when I put the picture of him, he's wearing boots instead of dress shoes like the other 2. So it just shows a little bit of character in the photos, because I didn't want it to be like too strict on them. You know, I wanted them to still feel like kids, you know. Like, yes, they're wearing suits. Yes, that's not typically, you know, kid attire, but I still wanted their personalities and what some would consider flaws to still be in the photo. Alright, in the last photo I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to release it today. Well, when you're seeing this video, whatever day the video launches, that's the day I'm releasing it. It's going to be first time anybody ever sees it. I would say this one, in my opinion, is arguably more powerful than the burning flag one I showed you guys earlier, and the name of this photo is Hostage. I'm actually going to show you guys right here, because I have a test print of it right here that I printed out. I don't know how well this is going to render on screen, or if you guys can even see it, but yeah, I'll put up the digital version, you know, on screen too. But yeah, like, I really don't know what to say about this one. I feel like I know what it says to me, but I feel like this is more of a piece that I want everybody to see a different meaning in, because everybody I've showed it to, it means something different to them, and I feel like that's the beautiful thing about art. As I create it, I can create it with one meaning behind it, but when somebody else sees it, they might see something completely different, or over time, as people continue to see it, they might see a different story in it every time. And I feel like that's the beauty about it. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it opened up a lane to photography to you guys that you guys didn't know about, or maybe you did know about and you just enjoyed the photos. I feel like the camera, or any form of art in general, is a weapon, you know, as Gordon Parks would say, that you can use to tell your own story, tell other stories, tell things you're passionate about. And that really was the point of this video, you know, of making quote-unquote meaningful photography. If it's meaningful to you and you feel like, you know, you're doing what you want, it's your passion, then it's meaningful photography. You know, just what I mean is like shoot what you want, shoot things that are meaningful to you. And because, you know, art, there's no rules to this. You know, you can shoot whatever you want. I just figured I'd show you guys, you know, my version of meaningful photography and what that means to me. And, you know, I plan to use, you know, my gift of photography to, you know, spread awareness around, you know, social issues and, you know, other things as my art develops over time. So I hope, you know, this inspired you guys to do that as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, it wasn't the usual portrait vlogs that I've been doing, you know, on the channel. It was slightly a different lane. It was just me showing some photos that I haven't showed before and some behind the scenes that nobody's seen before. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I appreciate all the support or all the recent support I've been getting on this channel. I gained, you know, about 150, 160 subscribers. My views have been going up and up steadily. And, you know, I can't be thankful enough to you guys for supporting the channel, you know, commenting, liking the videos. Some of you guys reached out to me on Instagram, and, you know, I'm glad to see it. I'm loving the community. You know, that's really one of the reasons I wanted to start this channel was, you know, grow in the community and, you know, spread, you know, knowledge and awareness on this channel and just document my process, because, you know, I'm not perfect. You know, my videos aren't perfect. They're not the most high quality, but, you know, it was just to document, just to show it, you know, just to put it out there. And I'm glad that people are liking the videos. I know this video was a little bit of a rant, so if you stuck all the way to the end, I appreciate you, but I will see you guys on the next one.